Happy Sunday, everybody.
Buongiorno, buona domenica.
We're talking everything pizza today.
Pizza. No, pizza.
Pizza. So today we're going to be talking about topics are going to be about making pizza. We've got our new pizza oven that we're going to talk about that we got from Cuisinart. We're going to be talking about ordering tips in Italy. And when we go in September, there's going to be some great places that we're going to be seeing. And we're going to also have a few hidden gems in Toronto that we've been to that we want to share for the end of this episode. So I've got you on the YouTube channel here to take a look and to see. And looking forward.
The Anita and Dario Show. The art of savoring, discovering how to fully indulge in the present moment. Savoring every experience, every morsel, and every breath. Unlocking the deeper appreciation for the beauty of life and the Mediterranean lifestyle.
Oh, live your life. Get inspired and cherish moments with food, travel, cooking, the Mediterranean way.
So today's episode, I feel a little bit...
I like when they say, there is one clip there that is enough.
We've had that when we've been to Italy. We just say,
Like,
that's one of my first words I learned was basta, because they feed you so much. But today's episode, it's really about you. You've been making pizzas.
No, it's about them.
Yeah, but you have been making pizzas since you were 6 years old. Family restaurant. And so I think we're going to learn lots. I've got some questions from people. I am sitting here on YouTube if there's any other questions that people have. But maybe we should start with making pizza.
Well,
Because we have our new oven
yes.
that we got from Cuisinart.
Yes.
Maybe I'll speak for a few minutes just to...
You go ahead. The boss.
We got this great oven from Cuisinart, and at first we were a little bit unsure because we've always used wood burning stoves
Well,
or pizza ovens.
Yeah.
Or we've
We put a stone in the oven.
we put a stone in the oven or the barbecue. Or we've used propane ones previous.
Yeah.
And I was pleasantly surprised at the results that we got for our pizza party.
Yes.
That we had, and how good of a crust actually it was.
Yes.
And the great thing that I wanted to mention before anything else, and you get into it, I loved it that you could actually do it in the house.
Yeah.
Like if you were to have propane, you couldn't do it. If you were to have the wood burning, of course you couldn't do it.
Right.
The oven is okay, but this made it much better. So
It made it much easier. There is tons of ventilation. I mean, this is exactly the way these things, if you just
There we go.
look the way it comes. It's a small little box like that. See, it's got stone there, and the stone can be removed. And if you want, look at that. Pizza Dario, it comes with this little gadget. We can actually put pizza in it a little bit, and we're going to talk about it, okay? Pizza in teglia. And you can bake it. You have all the temperature adjustments, okay? You have absolutely everything. But the greatest thing about this one is the convection air in it.
Mhm.
So what it does, it allows the dough to be extremely, well, depends what type of dough, and we're going to talk about it, but really crunchy and perfect and not smoke, which is really, really important. Comes with a little peel on it. So it's really an excellent wood burning stove to have, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, wood burning pizza for to use. My experience with pizza went way back. I mean, I was a young boy in Italy. My grandmother, when I actually told her that I was going to be not interested at all to go into medical school or law or anything like that, kind of the guidance that they wanted me to go, she says, "Oh, okay, what do you want to do?" I said, "Well, I want to become a cook." See the difference? Everybody say, "I want to become a chef." I want to become a cook first. So, okay, no problem. Great. So you want to go to the hotel school? She sent me to a beautiful hotel school in Stresa, Lago Maggiore. He said, "But you're going to have to work and start from the bottom." So we had some tenants in a pizzeria. Then they will run the pizzeria of the family. And she said, "You're going to go there and you're going to start from the bottom." And then what I mean, I was washing dishes, working in the kitchen as a busboy, basically in the kitchen, and making pizza. And that was fascinating. The difference was, here's a young boy, I would say probably 13, 14, being beside this massive oven, stretching pizza in the middle of the summer. And the concept of first making the dough, let it rest. While you're resting the dough, you start the wood burning oven, because remember, there was not thermostat like this. So you have to really gauge the temperature. Then shaping the dough and waiting. And then during service, I would be beside the guy who actually was making the pizza and shaping hundreds of pizza. The most humbling and excruciating experience, but really allow me to understand and respect what pizza is all about.
It's so funny. You have such a passion for cooking.
Yeah.
That you're salivating thinking of those moments.
Yeah.
I think he's getting hungry. It's pretty funny.
Well, the thing is, at that time I was not probably salivating as much.
But the memory of it, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
Food is memory. So, so what would you say are the 3 top tips to making pizza?
Cool.
If you were to give somebody, we've got people in here that probably have never done it before. There are people that have and would like to look for ideas on how to make a perfect pizza.
There are 2 types of pizza. There are 2 types of known pizza.
Yeah.
There is a Napolitan side, and there is the Roman side. And everybody says, which one is best? It really doesn't matter. I like Roman style pizza, obviously. It's got less hydration. So, less water into the dough. Okay. Much thinner crust. Okay. And cooks at a lower temperature until it gets completely dry. The Napolitan, which is, I gotta say, I do enjoy a little bit more than Napolitan personally.
And everyone has their own favorite type,
100%,
too, right?
100%. Has more hydration. That means a little bit more water in it. And has a little bit more gummy. Now, the temperature is extremely high. Remember, you got a lot of hydration, so there is more water in it. So the temperature, you're looking at 700-800 degrees oven. So the temperature is extremely hot. 90 seconds, the pizza's done.
And that's another huge tip, is to make sure the pizza oven's hot before you put it in.
Yeah, it has to be hot.
That's what I found with the pizza oven that we had here. We had to make sure that was to temperature before we put the pizza in. And I've seen other people do that where they haven't waited, and I think that's probably really important.
The other important thing is condiments. I think that's what you were asking me. Condiments are important.
Lots of pineapple.
No. This is one thing that I really, to this day, I don't know, but I respect everybody's decision, but I personally, that's not one thing.
Do you know what? They actually, in Italy, they have an American pizza, they call it. And what it has on it is French fries.
And hot dog.
I think it was hot dogs and French fries. And they think that's what we eat in America, which is so funny because I've never seen a pizza like that. But maybe there is, and I haven't seen it yet, but it doesn't sound very appealing to me.
So the condiments are very important. So remember, we're talking about the 2 dough, and the 2 dough are, that is passion into the dough. The dough, to me, is actually the most important part of the pizza. And a lot of people, I get frustrated sometimes when people throw the dough away, eat just the center, but they don't eat the crust. And to me, the crust is the most important thing on the pizza, because there is such of a, Romana has got a little bit of crunchiness. The Napolitana is nice and gummy. It's delicious. You can still dip in stuff here. But the condiments are very important. So when you're looking at tomatoes, tomatoes are, and this big concept, people cook tomato, make tomato sauce and put on a pizza. Now, tomato is not cooked whatsoever. You get a good quality of tomato, you crush it, a little bit of garlic if you want it, salt, pepper, olive oil, maybe a little bit of oregano. That's it. But it's raw tomato, then it's crushed and it's used on top of the pizza, okay, when it's raw, because it will cook at a temperature 700 degrees. So you understand that it's going to cook, okay? Mozzarella, bufala, very little ingredients. A traditional margherita pizza, for example, has got 2-3 ingredients. It's tomato, mozzarella, and basilic and olive oil. That's it. Don't overcrowd your pizza. When you go to Italy, for example, if you go to a pizzeria, you'll have a 30-centimeter diameter pizza. That's the way it is. You don't go there and ask for a slice. Unless you go to the store, they have pizza al taglio, okay, which is more like a Roman style type of pizza in a square, and they cut it with season, and you can have it like that. That's okay. The dough is a little bit more fragrant. It's almost like a biscuit dough, okay? Delicious. There are companies in Milan, in Rome, wherever you go, and they still have them, and they are delicious. But the most common time when you go to a pizzeria, you have your own style pizza. You have your own, and you have the components. There is a list of pizza.
Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to mention is I found it very odd that you don't just get a slice. You actually get your whole pizza yourself. Well, it is for North Americans, I find, because normally you get a slice of pizza, or you get a very large pizza, and then you'll share it with someone and get a slice. But it's not very common in Italy for ordering.
No.
But we're getting into the ordering in Italy and what we need to do. No, we have to be the pizza making.
Okay. So making a pizza it's extremely simple when you think about it. The way I normally do when I do make, for example, a Napolitan style pizza, I do on 2 fermentations. So I make the dough the night before, okay, and I try to use water, and the water is very important also. Okay, the temperature of the water. The water never needs to be cold or never needs to be hot. It needs to be kind of a body temperature.
Room temperature. And stuff with bread too. Yeah.
Flour. I normally use 00 flour. Go to your bakery. There's a variety of actually good quality pizza flour. My favorite is Caputo. Is a flour that I use the most. Yeast. That's a different thing. Yeast, for example, there is the block of beer yeast, which is actually it's almost like a brick. And you can keep it in the freezer, and you can take a small amount of, you break in your hand, and you activate it a little bit in warm water, okay? And then you dump it into the dough. Or dry activating yeast, same idea. You still activate it in warm water. What happened? It created almost like a pre-ferment. And the pre-ferment is extremely important. So I really activate that yeast and create the first foundation of your pizza. Making a pizza is super, super simple, takes the time. But once you take the time to make the right dough, it will taste incredible. So what I do, I make the dough the night before. I let it proof. I shape it. And then I put them in the fridge overnight. So the next day, just before I'm ready, an hour before I'm ready to make the pizza, I take it out of the fridge, I let it proof one more time, and then I shape them whenever I need them.
So we have some questions here, and I think some of them you've already answered. One thing here is there a difference between Italy's pizza in the north and the south?
Well, I mean, that is different now, but there is a little bit different, for example, in ingredients, for sure. I mean, in the northern part, you have pizza bianca. You know, they do pizza sometimes and there is no tomato in it. They have sometimes cheese-based sauces on it, or butternut squash, or anything simple. Pizza bianca with gorgonzola, cipolle.
Oh, we did that in one of our recipes. Yeah. Passion pizza, we called it. So, yeah.
I mean, there is a major variety of ingredients. You know, you have taleggio, for example, in the northern part of Italy. So you do pizza with taleggio, with cipolla and speck, if you want it. Gorgonzola and walnut. I mean, there's so many things you really do. In the south, you have more pizza than is tomato-based, for sure.
We were asked what are our favorite things to put on pizza, and I know yours is pineapple. And actually, it'd be neat if people put down below in the comments what is it that's your favorite topping. But what would you say is yours?
Well, for me, it's definitely not pineapple. So
It's a joke.
to me, it's a simple pizza. I mean,
Yeah.
when I remember one of the pizza that had the most condiment when making it, traditionally it was called capricciosa, and capricciosa was the pizza that actually had a lot of condiment, tomato base always, some artichoke, some mushroom, mozzarella, and prosciutto, but not prosciutto di Parma, cooked ham. Prosciutto
Oh.
cotto, which to me is delicious.
Yes.
Okay, we will put it in the oven, obviously a little bit of oregano in the oven, finish with a little bit of olive oil and basilico. Fantastic. My favorite, it's Napoletana, which is, I love anchovies. So I can put anchovies anywhere. And no matter whatever I do, I can put anchovies on it because I like that taste of anchovies. So Napoletana is, again, based off tomato. That's also very important. Think about a pizza. When you put in your sauce, it's important to have il cornicione. So the base, you want to be almost 1 centimeter spacing. You don't want to put the sauce all the way to the edge, because if you put the sauce to the edge, it's going to burn. It's going to burn. It's going to go right into the oven, and you're going to create a mess. You're always going to leave 1 centimeter on each side free. So you want to put the sauce exactly in the center with some spacing. Okay? Never right to the edge. Otherwise, it's not going to be good. And then, like I said, mozzarella, just enough to cover it. Maybe a few anchovies. That's it. Ignat or bufala. And then out and basilico. That's the other thing. People put basil and they put it in the oven. And that, to me, it just defeats the purpose, because when I put it in the oven, I'm going to burn that basil. Unless you put them underneath of some type of condiment. So if I would really want to do that, I would put maybe the basil in the bottom and the mozzarella on top so it doesn't burn. Or when the pizza comes out, then I put the fresh basil, a drizzle of olive oil, basta.
And my favorite pizza is Napolitan, and I love the mortadella, the pistachio, and stracciatella. And a little bit of honey, I think, is on it as well.
You can put a little bit more.
It's delicious, and it was my favorite. So we ended up having it in a small town, and it was Napolitan owner of this place that wasn't in Naples. Mind you, Naples, it's always delicious, everything they make there. And we're going to be bringing people on our retreat, actually, to Naples to a pizza expert, and we're going to be making different kinds of pizzas.
Yeah.
What are the different ones they're going to make?
Well, they're going to be a bunch of kind of, I mean, I can't even start mentioning, but they're pizza. They're going to do some pizza with seafood. They are pizza al portafoglio, which is the classical pizza. This is the other way. This is the other thing. I mean, Anita, when I remember the first time she came to Italy with, and it was me, my sister, my brother-in-law, my niece, and everybody at the table. And
such a munchie cake.
And the first thing we do, you use the knife maybe to do it, but then everything is done by hand. Or you fold it and you eat it like that. Pizza portafoglio, they call it. Okay, and Anita goes there perfectly with the knife and forks to be proper. And my sister looks at me and she said, "What is she doing?"
It's not to be proper. It's how I like to do it.
That's right.
Right. So it's not a matter of being proper. It's how I like to do it. I like to cut till probably this far, like an inch or two towards the crust. Yeah. And then I will eat the rest of it. And I like to eat the crust. I mean, Dario was talking about people like to eat the center and they don't eat the crust. And a lot of times what it is because people are thinking that the gluten in the flour or it's going to add more calories to it. But Dario, as Dario mentioned, it is one of the best parts is having that delicious crust and having it done properly too, right? Having it a little bit crispy, a little bit burnt. You're starting to salivate again. We had some more questions here. Favorite pizza spots in Italy. We're going to put a list in there, but it's going to be where we're going to be going for our retreat as well. What to look for in dough, ingredients, oven type, localities. So really, our favorite ideally is wood burning. Yeah. But I mean, this Cuisinart one is really, really good. And what I like is because some of them they have, if they do propane, you have that propane taste to it, which I don't necessarily like. We've done it on the barbecue as well. So I really, really liked the oven for that. Dough, slow fermentation, flour matters. Dario talked a lot about that, talking about the fermentation and how you are doing that with the dough. Simplicity, quality tomatoes. Someone asked here about doing things in season. Is there a time not to order pizza in Italy or not to make it?
Absolutely not.
Because really, you can buy a good quality tomato.
Tomato in pizza are okay. That's a big topic. Everybody thinks then, okay, tomato, when we talk about tomato for pizza, are the beautiful canned tomatoes, San Marzano, DOP if you can, denomination of origin protected. It's not necessarily about the fresh tomato from the vines, unless you make your own passata. Because the idea is this beautiful little sauce base. It has to be raw, okay? I repeat, the tomato sauce. We done it for an event, and we made our pizza-based sauce. You could smell it in a house, and it was not cooked. Because basically, you take this beautiful tomato, nice and concentrated. Now, San Marzano are the best one, okay? San Marzano in April, and you can find them pretty much anywhere you do it. You put them in a bowl, and you just crush them with your hand. Don't be afraid of it. With your hand. You lightly season them, maybe a little bit of oregano if you want it. You can put some leaf of basil, break them down like that. Some sleeve of garlic, make sure the heart is out, the germ. Olive oil, that's it. You don't need pepper. You don't need anything else. Just that. Nothing else.
We used our own stock that we have, and we made our own tomato sauce.
Well, we made our base. We still have our base. But it's going to cook. Remember, a thin layer like that is going to cook at 700 degrees. So if you already cook it, and you're going to cook it again, you're going to have ketchup on your pizza, which is not good.
No, not good at all. Tools, pizza stone. So we've got a pizza stone that we've used in the oven and also on the barbecue. But this Cuisinart is really, really good. High temperature, we talked about that. What was the degrees again? It was 700?
700.
Yeah.
700. You're looking between 750. I personally think for a Napolitan pizza is the best one.
Again, what's our favorite combinations? Of course, the margarita is the most widely used pizza type in Naples that they have, which is very simple.
Well, why? I think even Napolitan, even Roman style pizza, there is margherita. Margherita is just probably the classical pizza that everybody loves.
And it's interesting because it was Queen Margherita, and that she actually made it of the colors. Well, she's the queen, right?
Yeah.
She made it of the colors of the Italian flag, and that was one of the things that she did. Again, we're heading to Naples in September, so we're going to be bringing people to the pizza expert that we have there. We're going to be making mozzarella. We're going to be staying in the Amalfi Coast. It's going to be a lot of pizza tips and things that.
And understanding your product, right? Because before you're making a pizza, you got to understand what is in it. So we're going to go see tomato. We're going to see mozzarella. We're going to see this master making different type of variety of pizza. Because remember, it's flour, yeast, and water. It's not really complicated. The condiments are important if they're good quality, but I go back again. Please start eating your crust, because there is so much work around that, and there's so much importance. Okay, so and
when you have a good flour, it's much easier to digest. I know people that we take on our retreats, they never seem to have problems. If they have gluten problems, to want gluten-free products for their digestion. In Italy, they don't have those problems. So it's kind of interesting to be able to do that. So I was talking about the retreat. Yeah, so if anyone's interested in coming to the retreat, reach out to us and we can give you more details. It's going to be September of 2025. I'm trying to think of what else there is. Yeah, so a good quality olive oil, tomato, like it's so important to be able to dress it properly. And I think that's it. Did we have any other tips that we wanted for eating buying in Italy? Okay.
Yes, that is million of things that we can talk about. There is some incredible places here in Toronto, in Canada, and really be resourceful wherever you're going. There is a place in here in the city. Actually, they make the most incredible pizza. Okay, Gino Venga Cucina, and I want to give a shout out to this place because I think it became one of our favorite pizza to eat. And it's called pinza. Pinza is basically a pizza alla pala. It's different type of flour. There are 3 different type of flour, and is much crunchier, Roman style, oval, and very, very easy to digest. This type of flour has 3 different type of flour, and one of them has rice flour in it. So the digestion part is extremely good. We had it, I think a month ago, and you absolutely loved it.
Mm-hmm. It was really, really good. That's our place that we're in Toronto that we're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's he called again? Cucina?
Gino Vinga.
Vinga Cucina.
Gino Vinga Cucina. Fantastic.
Vinga Cucina.
Very good.
It's in the Junction area, so if you get a chance to go there, that's.
There is so many beautiful places. I mean, pizza is one thing. Then, if you want, you gotta find the right spot.
Yeah. We have a question here. How long? What's the ideal length for time for proofing dough?
Depends on temperature. I mean, ideally, sometimes can take between 1 hour to 2 hours. But in the winter, obviously, it's going to take you longer because the temperature is much cooler. In the summer, it's going to be much, much quicker. Okay, so when I do double fermentation, okay, and if I make the pizza today and I shape it and I put them in the fridge, from the time I take it out of the fridge, at least 1 hour proofing, and then I shape it. But the proofing of a dough is between 1 hour to 2 hours for sure.
Yeah. And it's good to check it. Doesn't it have to bounce back?
No, you can see. No, you can actually see it. This is different than pasta. You can actually see that it's really expanding. And the most important thing for the pizza Napolitana is all done by hand, the stretching. Because you're starting from the center and you're moving out. Why you're moving out from the center, moving out? Because you want to create that cornicione. The edge then is nice and puffy and crunchy. The Napolitana is thin all the way around it. So you can actually use almost a mattarello or a rolling pin to roll it perfectly and even and crunchy. Okay. But the Napolitana, we just go from the inside and you push them out. And then with your hand, you kind of open it up.
Or you flip it in the air.
Or you flip it in the air. Yes.
Well, you probably ended up with on top of your head, but not for you.
Well, sometimes it happened to me.
So, someone mentioned about uni, the pizza maker. I think we've tried it a couple times. I think it gives a little bit of a protein kind of a taste to it.
Which one is it, sorry?
The uni. That I'm thinking. I've seen some people using it. Anyway, we really enjoyed this one, but it's not really a mass production. Mind you, we had a pizza party and we made 20 pizzas. So it did do quite good and it was quite fast. Each pizza was, 5 minutes? No, 2 minutes.
Probably 3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's super fast. And I mean, you just take your time, right? I mean, you take your time. Everybody comes here, makes their own pizza. This one does one pizza at a time. And a perfect set pizza. I mean, you can make, just look at that. I mean, that's a pretty good sized pizza.
Yeah.
That goes in it. So, the shape, I mean, you make one pizza like that. I mean, that day we made, I think it was 20 pizza. And everybody just enjoys and makes whatever condiment they want. So 3 to 4 minutes maximum, you really. Yeah.
So we're going to end the episode with talking about the 3 places that we were suggesting to go and what we did this week in Toronto. So we did a wine tasting for Tuscan wines this week, which was really, really good. Trying some different wines. We're going to be putting some of those in Instagram, talking about what our favorite Tuscan wine was. We also went to a new pedineria that's opening up in June in Toronto, and it's a delicious sandwich that's available out there. You're very hungry.
No.
You're thinking about it. We went to the semi-opening of it this week. It was really, really good. And as Dario mentioned, the Vega Cucina, which is in the Junction. Delicious pinza pizza. He says that he's the only pinza making pizza place.
Yeah.
He actually went to Rome to learn how to make this pinza pizza. We'll put some pictures in Instagram and give you some more details over there. But that was a really a big hidden gem that we want to talk about. Many people haven't really talked about it, and he makes a delicious pizza. Him and his wife, they've just opened up their patio. So we have to go back
Yeah, we're gonna go
And,
back. I was just talking actually to him this morning. I sent him a couple of messages, but it's definitely worth it to go visit this place. Gino Venga Cucina, fantastic. And the Piedineria, La Bottega della Piedina. I mean, this is the first Piedineria you will see in Toronto. It's classical Piedina Romagnola from Romagna in a food valley of Italy. Delicious. There is a variety of Piedina that you can go crazy. You can grab and go. You can stay there. You can do whatever you want, but it is absolutely worth the experience for sure.
And the shape of the pizza is very different. It's sort of like an oblong,
Mhm.
but it's really, really good. So that's it for today. We're going to be here next week, Sunday, with a different topic. You'll get all the details. This will go into our newsletter so that you will get the replay for those of you that didn't get a chance to see it. If you want to get the replay from here on in and get the alerts that we're live, come on in. We'll be
Are we
looking
live?
at some of the comments. We are live.
Are we alive?
We are live. Let's pinch ourselves. Are we
Yes,
alive?
we are alive.
Oh, live your life. What can I say? Anyway, so thank you for joining us today. And any comments and questions, I followed a couple. I've answered a few. If I've missed any, I'm sorry. Just reach out to us in the comments below, and we're happy to help you out.
Ciao ragazzi. Buona domenica.
Ciao.
The Anita and Dario Show. The art of savoring, discovering how to fully indulge in the present moment, savoring every experience, every morsel, and every breath, unlocking the deeper appreciation for the beauty of life and the Mediterranean lifestyle.
Oh, live your life. Get inspired and cherish moments with food, travel, cooking the Mediterranean way.